The Queen's ultimatum, the battlefield was silent. Smoke rose from broken machines and burnt bodies. Blood, both red and black, painted the ground. The war between humans and the Gyros vampires had ended here on this cold, dead moon. And the humans had lost. One man moved. His name was Aaron Vale, a soldier from Earth. His armor was cracked. His helmet was gone. Blood ran down his face, but he was still alive. Barely. He looked around, coughing. His team was gone. Friends, brothers, all dead. Then he heard it, soft footsteps. Not many, just one. But powerful. He reached for his sidearm, but it was crushed. No weapons. No chance. A shadow passed over him. He looked up and froze. She was floating above the ground, her long red cape flowing behind her. Her eyes glowed like fire. Her skin was pale like ice. Her silver crown shimmered in the red light of the dying planet behind them. The alien, vampire queen of Gyros. Every soldier on Earth knew her face. She had destroyed 3 colonies with just her voice. She drank the blood of warriors. Her army feared her, and she was standing in front of Aaron, calm and smiling. "Human," she said, voice cold like metal. "You are the last one, and I like your fire, even broken. You tried to fight." Aaron tried to stand, but his legs failed. He glared at her. "Just kill me," he said. "I'm not afraid of death." The Queen tilted her head, amused. Who said anything about death? She stepped closer. Aaron could feel the heat of her presence. Or maybe it was fear. "I give you a choice," she whispered. "2 paths. 1, become my mate. You will rule beside me. You will never age, never die. Your blood will join mine." Aaron blinked. Was she joking? Was this a trick? "And the other path?" he asked. The Queen smiled wider. "Refuse, and Earth will burn. Your people will scream under red skies, and I will make you watch every second before I tear your soul apart." Aaron felt his heart pound. This was no dream, no trick. She was serious. He looked at her. She was terrifying, and yet something in her eyes, loneliness, hunger, something deep and ancient, something broken. "Why me?" he asked. "You're different," she said softly. "You resist. Even now, you stand in front of a god and do not beg. I admire that. And your blood, it calls to mine." Aaron felt something cold crawling inside his mind. Her presence, her power. He pushed it back. "I won't be your pet," he growled. She laughed. "No, human, not a pet. A king." The air grew heavier. She raised her hand, and a red flame danced in her palm. "This is your moment. Choose now," she said. His mind raced. If he said yes, he could save Earth. Maybe, but at what cost? Would he become one of them? Lose his soul, his humanity? If he said no, his people would suffer. The war would continue. He was just one man, but his answer would decide the future of Earth. Aaron closed his eyes, thought of his home, his sister, the blue skies of Earth, the taste of real food, the sound of laughter. He opened his eyes and met hers. "I choose." But before he could finish, the Queen raised her hand. She said gently, "I already know." She turned and walked away, her cape flowing like blood. Aaron felt his body rise from the ground, lifted by her power. He tried to fight it, but his strength was gone. "I will take you to my palace," the Queen said. "You will heal, and then we will see if your choice stays the same." The sky turned black as her ship descended. As he floated into the air, the last thing Aaron saw was the ruined battlefield below and the shadow of the vampire queen walking into the smoke, like death itself. The Crimson Palace floated like a dark jewel in space, hidden inside a hollow asteroid where sunlight could never reach. No human had ever stepped inside and left alive. Until now. Aaron Vale opened his eyes slowly. He was lying on a bed, but it wasn't normal. It felt alive, pulsing slightly like it had a heartbeat. Red crystals hung from the walls, glowing softly. The air was thick, warm, and sweet like blood. He sat up quickly. His armor was gone, his wounds healed. Suddenly, the door opened with a hiss. An alien walked in. Tall, gray-skinned, with black eyes and long silver armor. A servant? No, a guard. Behind him walked another figure, the Queen of Gyros, her eyes locked on Aaron's, cold, powerful, curious. You recover fast, she said. Aaron didn't answer. His fists clenched. He was in the heart of the enemy now. The Queen stepped closer. You're in my home, human. You should be thankful. Most of your kind end up as decoration. She smiled. Aaron stayed silent. Come, walk with me. Aaron stood slowly, muscles still sore. He followed her through long halls filled with strange lights and walls made of black bone. Alien vampires bowed as the Queen passed, but stared at Aaron like he was a ghost. They entered a large chamber filled with stars, a war room. A huge hologram floated in the center. Planets, ships, battlefields. Aaron recognized one. Earth. He whispered. The Queen looked at the map too. Your planet is stubborn, brave, but they can't win, not against us. Not without you. Aaron stepped closer to the map. A red line circled Earth. His heart stopped. This was no future attack. This has already started, he said. Yes, she replied. I gave you time, but I do not wait forever. Rage burned inside him. You said I had a choice. You still do, she said calmly. But while you decide, I act. If I sit still, my enemies grow bold. He stared at her. You call this peace? I call it pressure, she said. To help you make the right choice. Aaron wanted to scream. To fight. But there were no weapons here, no backup, just him. And her. The Queen studied his face. You hate me, she said. He didn't answer. That's good, she whispered. Hate is honest. She turned to leave. You will begin training tomorrow. You must understand our ways. If you are to lead beside me, you must learn to command. Aaron's eyes narrowed. And if I'm just pretending? What if I plan to stab you in the back? The Queen paused. Then she laughed softly. Oh, Aaron, I hope you do. She disappeared. Into the shadows. The next day, the training room was a large black chamber with sharp pillars and glowing red symbols. Alien guards watched from the walls. Some were huge like beasts. Others slim and fast. Aaron stood in the center, facing a tall female vampire named Kylza, her body wrapped in silver armor. She spoke with a rough voice. The Queen may like you, human, but we don't. You bleed just like the rest. Let's see how long you last. They began to spar. Aaron ducked, rolled, and struck hard. Kylza was faster, but Aaron was clever. He used her speed against her, letting her slip past and striking when she missed. The guards began to murmur. The human was good. Too good. After 10 minutes, Aaron managed to slam Kylza to the floor. She growled and held out her hand for help. He grabbed her wrist and pulled her up. She stared at him. You fight like us, but you think like a traitor. Aaron wiped sweat from his brow. Maybe I'm both. She leaned closer. Careful, human. This place hears everything. That night, Aaron lay on his strange living bed, staring at the red crystal lights above. His body ached, but his mind was racing. He had seen the war map. Earth was already in danger. He needed to send a message, a warning. But how? Suddenly, the crystal wall near him shimmered, and the Queen stepped through it like mist. You surprised me today, she said. Even my generals were impressed. Aaron sat up slowly. What do you want? She walked closer. To talk, to understand you. To know if I can trust you, or if I should destroy you. Aaron looked her in the eyes. You already knew. I wouldn't trust you, so why keep me alive? The queen sat beside him. "I've seen thousands of warriors," she said softly. "But you're not afraid of me. That's rare." Aaron didn't move. "I don't want a puppet," she continued. "I want a partner, strong, sharp, even dangerous." She leaned in, close enough to feel her breath. "Are you dangerous, Aaron?" He stared back. "Only if I have to be." She smiled again. But it wasn't playful. It was dark. "Good. Let's see how long you survive." She stood and disappeared into the wall once more. Aaron lay back down, his jaw tight, his mind sharp. He had to escape, or win her trust. Or both, but one thing was clear: he had walked into the mouth of a monster, and it liked the taste of him. Far from the dark asteroid where Aaron was trapped, Earth seemed calm. The sky was blue. The cities were alive. People laughed, walked, worked. They had no idea their world was already under attack. But Dr. Lena Rall knew. She sat alone in her lab, deep underground on Mars Colony Station 9. Her eyes were red from lack of sleep. Screens flickered around her, showing news from Earth blackouts in major cities, strange disappearances, and shadow figures seen at night. Most people thought it was fake news. Urban legends. Ghost stories. But Lena had seen the truth. She turned back to the blood sample glowing under the scanner. It wasn't normal. It didn't match anything in the human database. It had no virus, no bacteria, but it wasn't dead. It was alive. Moving. Changing. And it came from Aaron Vale. He had disappeared weeks ago after a mission to the outer moons. Everyone said he died in battle, but Lena never believed that. She had been tracking his suit's hidden signal, the one only she and Aaron had ever used. It had gone silent, then blinked back to life for only 5 seconds. Just 5, but long enough for her to trace it. The source? An asteroid near the edge of Euros territory. Lena knew what that meant. He was still alive, but he wasn't alone. Later that night, Earth, New York City, in the shadows of tall buildings, something moved. A man walked down an alley, humming. A second later, a soft whisper behind him. "Help me. He turned. No one was there. He took another step. Then he saw her, a woman in a red dress, pale, barefoot, eyes glowing faintly. He stepped back, nervous. Are you okay?" She smiled slowly. Her mouth opened and fangs flashed. The man screamed, but it was already too late. Back on Mars, Lena stared at the satellite feed. The map showed glowing red dots, energy spikes in strange places across Earth. Every time one of those dots appeared, something bad happened. A fire, a missing person, a full blackout. She connected the dots. The pattern made no sense until she overlaid it on an ancient map she found in the old Earth military database. It formed a circle, a symbol. Not human. Random, a ritual. She leaned back, heart pounding. They're not just attacking. They're preparing something. Suddenly, a beep from her comes. Someone was calling her an encrypted signal. She answered it. A deep voice. "Dr. Rall, we need to talk. It's about Aaron Vale." Her eyes widened. "Who is this?" "I'm from Earth's Shadow Response Unit. We know he's alive. And we think he's with the Queen of Gyros." Lena's voice turned cold. "Then why haven't you rescued him?" The man on the call paused. "Because we don't know if he's still one of us." Lena froze. "What are you saying?" "We intercepted something," the man said. "A coded message from a Gyros ship. It had his ID code. Voice print match, 98%. And?" She whispered. "It said, Earth will bend, or it will burn." Meanwhile, Crimson Palace Aaron stood in a massive hall, dressed in new black armor given to him by the Queen. It fit him perfectly, too perfectly. Like it was made from his thoughts. He looked at his reflection. He didn't look like a human soldier anymore. He looked like something else. The Queen entered silently. "You're changing," she said softly. "This place accepts you. Aaron clenched his fists. I haven't made a choice. You already have, she whispered. I'm doing this to survive, he growled. Don't think I've forgotten what you are. The queen stepped closer. And yet, here you are, wearing my colors, learning my language, dreaming in my world. Aaron's mind raced. Could he still send a message? Could anyone hear him? He didn't know that back on Mars, Lena had already started her plan. She stared at the blinking screen. Aaron's old heartbeat pattern recorded from his suit had just pulsed once more. It was weak, but real. He was still fighting, and she would. Fight 2. Final scene. Earth. Secret vampire Nesta soldier entered a dark underground tunnel in Paris. He wore infrared goggles. Moved silently. He turned a corner and stopped. A huge blood symbol covered the wall. At its center, a human heart. Still beat. Carved into the stone were the words, "The Queen rises soon." He stepped back in horror just as something fast and cold dropped behind him. The camera feed cut out. Asterisk. Aaron Vale couldn't sleep, even in a bed made of rare alien silk, even in a room filled with red light and strange, humming walls. His mind wouldn't rest. He was trapped in the heart of the enemy, surrounded by vampires. And yet, something worse haunted him. The Queen. Every day she came to him. Every night she watched him. But this night was different. A soft mist filled his room. The walls turned quiet. The red glow faded into soft silver light. Then she appeared, not through the door, but inside his dream. He stood now in a garden, full of black flowers and silver trees. The stars above were spinning in slow motion. The wind whispered in a strange language. He looked down. He was barefoot. His clothes were white. He felt lighter, calm. Then he saw her, the Queen, dressed not in armor, but in a flowing dress. Her crown was gone. Her eyes were sad. A dream? Aaron asked. No, she replied. A memory. One I haven't shown anyone in 1,000 years. Why me? He asked. Because you keep asking who I am. Now I will show you. Long ago, the Queen's memory. Aaron now saw through her eyes. She was young, not yet a queen. Just a warrior princess in a world of blood and rules. Her people, the Giros, were born to drink blood, but once they had honor, laws, balance. She had a name once, a different one. She whispered it softly. Valera. In this memory, Valera stood in a palace much smaller than the one she ruled now. She was watching a guest arrive, a human ambassador. Tall, clever, proud. A warrior named Kale. Aaron saw them meet for the first time. Their hands touched. A moment of peace between enemies. Days passed in seconds. Valera and Kale walked together. Trained together, argued like fire and water, and then fell in love. She gave him her blood. He gave her his name. Their bond broke ancient laws. They wanted to war between humans and Giros, together. But peace was not what the galaxy wanted. The memory turned dark. Kale betrayed her, or so she believed. He vanished with her battle codes. Soon after, the human fleet bombed her homeworld. Millions died. Valera's heart broke that day, and something inside her changed forever. She took the throne by force. She stopped using her real name. She became the Queen, the Vampire Queen. No more love. No more trust. Only blood and war. Back to the dream garden. Aaron stepped back, the weight of her past heavy in his chest. You loved a human, he said quietly. I did, she whispered. And he betrayed you? Her voice shook. Or maybe I let others tell me he did. I never found him. I never asked. I just killed. Aaron didn't know what to say. This Queen, the monster, was once a woman trying to build peace. He looked at her face again. Strong, beautiful, lonely. Why are you showing me this? He asked. Because part of me still wonders, she said. If I had waited, if I had trusted, would my world still be alive? And what about now? Aaron asked. Do you want peace, or just a new toy? She stepped close. You're not a toy, Aaron. You're a test. A test? He frowned. She nodded. To see if I can believe again. If my heart can still choose something other than revenge. Aaron turned away. I'm not him. I'm not Kale. No, she said. You're different. That's what scares me. Suddenly the dream garden cracked. The silver stars burned red. A loud hum broke through the dream. Aaron gasped and opened his eyes. He was back in his bed, sweating, and standing in the corner. Was the Queen still watching, still silent? Was any of that real? He asked. She nodded once. All of it. Then, what do you want from me now? He said. She didn't answer. But her eyes said everything. Hope. Or destruction. Meanwhile, Mars colony, Dar. Lena Rao wiped her face as the encryption finally broke. The message she recovered was old, but powerful. It was a private file from Aaron's mission log sent just before he vanished. His voice was shaky, rushed. If you get this, the Queen isn't just a warlord. She's broken, angry, but she wasn't always this way. If there's a way to stop this war, it's not through guns. It's through her. Lena stared at the screen. She whispered, "You're still in there, Aaron, and I'll bring you home." She began building a new message coded to reach deep space, past enemy lines. Her plan was dangerous, but Earth didn't have time left. Final scene. Crimson Palace throne room. The Queen sat alone on her throne, eyes closed. Her guards stood in silence. Suddenly one of them stepped forward. "My Queen," he said, bowing. "We have detected a signal, human, from Mars." The Queen opened her eyes slowly. "Let it come," she said. Then she smiled. "But make sure it leads them exactly where I want." Aaron Vale stood in the middle of the training pit, surrounded by enemies pretending to be teachers. His chest rose and fell with slow, careful breaths. Sweat ran down his back. His black armor, gifted by the Queen, was strong, but not invincible. Not against what he was about to face. Across from him stood Commander Vyrek, the Queen's top general. A vampire warlord with claws for hands and a face covered in battle scars. He had killed more humans than Aaron could count. "You've learned to move like one of us," Vyrek said with a grin. "But let's see if you bleed like one of us too." Aaron didn't reply. He just watched, studied. The bell rang. Vyrek charged. Was fast, too fast. A blur of teeth and metal. Aaron rolled left, just missing the claws. Then struck back, aiming for the weak spot behind Vyrek's knee. The general grunted. Surprised, the crowd of vampire guards watching above began to whisper. Human was no longer just surviving. He was winning. For weeks now, Aaron had trained with the Queen's warriors. Every punch, every strike, every dodge, he learned more about how they moved, how they thought, how they trusted strength over words. So Aaron gave them what they respected. He fought with rage, precision, intelligence. But inside, he waited. Planned. Hunted. The duel with Vyrek continued. Aaron landed another hit, this time on the general's ribs. Vyrek growled and slammed his claws into the ground, sending up a shockwave. Aaron flew back and hit the wall hard. Pain exploded in his side. He stood slowly, breathing sharp. Vyrek laughed. Not bad for a soft blood. Aaron wiped blood from his lip. Better than being a mindless pet, he said. The room went silent. Even the guards above shifted. Vyrek's eyes narrowed. You choose your words like weapons. Aaron stepped forward. I choose them carefully, like everything I do. Later that night, Aaron sat in the palace courtyard, beside the strange red pond that glowed like lava. He held a training blade, spinning it in his hand. Footsteps approached. It was Kylza, the vampire he had fought before. The one who had once said, "You fight like us, but think like a traitor." She sat beside him without asking. "You humiliated Vyrek," she said. He won't forget that. Aaron kept spinning the blade. Good. Some say the queen is watching you too closely, she added. Others say she's falling for you. Aaron frowned. And what do you say? She turned her head. I say, I've never seen a human who makes monsters nervous. He looked at her. She leaned in closer and whispered, if you ever plan to turn on her, human, I want in. Aaron blinked. Why? Kylza looked up at the sky. Because I was taken as a child. Turned against my will, she may rule us. But she doesn't own our souls. A pause. Then Aaron smiled slightly. For the first time, he wasn't alone in this palace of death. Meanwhile, Mars Colony Dr. Lena Rahl stared at her computer screen. Her message to Aaron had been sent through 10 layers of encryption. Now, she was waiting. Suddenly, a small light blinked on her console. Response received. She gasped. Opened the file. It was short, a voice. Aaron Vale, still alive, not broken. Not theirs, but running out of time. She closed her eyes in relief. Then opened a secret file. Plan eclipse. If Aaron could buy her time, she could deliver the weapon Earth needed, but she had no idea. The Queen was already watching her through a hacked satellite. Back in the palace, the Queen stood at the highest tower, looking out over space. Her red cloak danced behind her like fire. A guard stepped beside her. Your general reports. The human grows stronger. She smiled. Good. Let them fear him. Let them question me. Let them hope. But why? The guard asked. He could betray you. He already is, the Queen said softly. Then why do you allow it? She turned, eyes glowing. Because a snake in the dark is useful, until it thinks it can bite the sun. Final scene, training pit, next dia, new challenge had begun. 10 warriors versus 1 human. Aaron stood ready, breathing slow, eyes scanning. Charged. He moved like water. Fast. Sharp. One by one, they fell. Not dead, but broken. Even the guards who once laughed at him now watched in silence. And above, behind the glass, the Queen sat on her throne, watching him. Not like a ruler watching a servant, but like a predator watching something it may love. Or destroy. The war had already begun, but most of Earth didn't know it. There were no armies in the streets. No ships in the sky. Only shadows. Earth. Underground facility. Siberia. A soldier stumbled into a secret bunker, bleeding from the shoulder. There. Here, he gasped. They move like ghosts. Eyes glowing. Can't kill them with bullets. Dr. Lena Rahl stepped forward, holding a scanner. Let me see your blood. The soldier hesitated. What? She didn't wait. She pricked his finger, scanned it, then relaxed. Still human. Behind her, screens showed maps of Earth. Over 17 cities had gone dark in the last 2 weeks. The Shadow War had begun. And Earth was losing. Lena turned to her team. We don't just need a soldier now, we need a signal. Crimson Palace. Medical wing. Aaron Vale lay strapped to a floating table. He wasn't unconscious, but his body refused to move. Red lights blinked above. Strange machines scanned his blood, his heart, his mind. He heard footsteps. The Queen entered. She wore no armor, now only a simple black robe. Her face was calm, unreadable. I told you I would protect Earth if you stayed, she said. And yet, you sent them a message. Aaron's eyes narrowed. You said I had a choice. You never said I had to be silent. She smiled slightly. Fair. She turned to the screen showing his DNA. Do you know what makes you different from the others? She asked. Why I couldn't control you with my voice. Why you resist my influence. Aaron didn't reply. She pointed at the screen. Your blood has something unique, something ancient. She walked closer. You carry a forgotten gene. A bloodline that hasn't appeared in thousands of years. Not human, not vampire. Something else. Aaron tried to move, but the machine held him tight. What does that mean? He growled. She looked at him carefully. It means you weren't chosen by me. Her voice softened. You were called by something older than both of us. Mars Colony, Secret Lab. Lena stood in front of a projection of Aaron's DNA. The sample she recovered from his last message didn't match anything on record. She frowned. This blood ... It's not just evolved. It's reacting to vampire cells, adapting, fighting them. One of her assistants leaned in. What are you saying, doctor? I'm saying he's changing, she replied. But not into one of them. Into what then? She didn't answer, because she didn't. No. Crimson Palace, Queen's Chamber. The Queen released Aaron from the medical table. He fell to one knee, coughing. You think I fear you now? He said, standing slowly. No, she replied. I fear what you might become. She circled him. There was a time long ago when our kind served a different master. One with no name. A being of blood and starlight. Some say it sleeps inside the oldest bloodlines, waiting. She paused in front of him. I think it chose you. Aaron stared at her. If that's true, then maybe I'm not your enemy. She tilted her head. Or maybe you're my replacement. Earth Midnight Operation. Lena led a small strike. Teamed through the streets of Cairo. No lights, no sound. Buildings abandoned. They entered an old church. Inside, silence. Then dash movement. A shadow darted across the ceiling. Then another, glowing eyes. Fangs. Too fast. The vampires attacked. Lena's team fought hard, using light weapons and sonic guns. 2 soldiers fell. But they managed to trap one vampire alive. Lena aimed her scanner at it, and stopped cold. Its blood had Aaron's signature inside. What the hell? She whispered. Then the vampire opened its mouth and said, in Aaron's voice, you left me behind. Lena froze. It wasn't him, but someone had copied his DNA, or worse. Someone was spreading it. Crimson Palace, Secret Garden. Aaron stood alone in the same dream garden the Queen had once shown him. But this time, he came on his own. His mind was sharper now. He could feel the energy of the place. He could touch the memories. Suddenly, he saw flashes. A vampire kneeling before a throne of bones. A war between ancient species. A creature of fire and blood waking from sleep. He gasped and fell to his knees. The Queen appeared beside him. You see it now, don't you? She said, what you carry inside is not a curse. It's a signal. Aaron stood, eyes burning with strange light. I'm not your mate, he said. I'm your warning. Final scene, Earth orbit. A massive alien ship uncloaked above the Earth's moon. No one had seen it before. Not even the Queen's forces. It was old. Silent. Not gyros. Inside its command deck, ancient systems lit up. A voice echoed from deep within the ship. Blood key detected. Reawakening. The sky above Earth was no longer blue. The ancient ship now floated above the moon like a silent god. Its black metal body glowing with strange red lines. Every satellite, every camera, every telescope on Earth had turned to it. And no one knew what it was, except 2 people, Aaron Vale and the alien vampire Queen of ZHYROS. Inside the Crimson Palace, the Queen stood at the edge of her war balcony, staring at the massive ship on the holomap. Her hands were shaking slightly. Something her guards had never seen. This can't be possible, whispered Commander Vyrick. The star tombs were sealed. She didn't answer him, because deep inside, she had always feared this day would come, that someone would awaken the old blood, that he would awaken it. Elsewhere in the palace, Aaron stood in his room, staring at his reflection. His eyes no longer looked fully human. The whites had turned faint gray, and red veins ran across them like cracks. His body felt stronger, faster, more aware. The dreams hadn't stopped. The voices were louder now, but they weren't hers. They were ancient, calling him. Warning him, or guiding him. He clenched his fists. He was tired of being a puppet, of waiting. He left the room and walked toward the throne. The throne room. The queen turned slowly as Aaron entered. Everyone else in the room stepped back. The human wasn't just stronger now. He was different. "I've seen the ship," he said, "and I know what it wants." The queen looked at him. "Then speak. It doesn't care about you, or me, or Earth. It only cares about blood, ancient blood. It wants to finish what your ancestors started." Vyrek stepped forward. "You dare speak of our ancestors like—" Aaron raised his hand. Vyrek froze in place, eyes wide. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The entire room went silent. Aaron's voice was calm. "I didn't ask for this power, but I have it now." He lowered his hand. Vyrek dropped to the ground, coughing, humiliated. The queen stepped down from her throne. "So, what will you do?" she asked. "Will you take your place beside me? Or will you try to stop me?" Aaron stepped closer. "You asked me to be your mate, but maybe I was never meant to be your partner." "Then what are you?" she whispered. He looked her in the eye. "I'm your balance." Earth, Mars Control Station DR. Lena Rowell stood in front of a huge screen. Her message from Aaron had just arrived. "I have control, but not forever. Prepare, Earth. Don't trust the Queen. Don't trust me either. Not yet." Lena looked at her team. "We need to aim all orbital weapons at the ship above the moon," a technician said. "But what if Aaron's on it?" Lena's voice was steady. "If he loses control, we'll all die anyway." Crimson Palace, the final choice. The Queen and Aaron stood on the edge of the outer platform. Stars filled the sky. The ancient ship was now sending signals to both of them. Ancient whispers. A forgotten language. The Queen held out her hand. "You still have a choice, Aaron. Become one with me. Rule the bloodlines. Lead a new era." He looked at her. "You think I want to rule? I don't even want this power." "But you have it," she said softly. "And only you can decide how it ends." Aaron stared into space. He saw Earth. He saw the ship. He saw her. And he remembered what he was fighting for. Not power, not revenge, freedom. He looked back at the Queen. "No," he said. "I choose something you've forgotten." "What?" she asked. "Hope." Suddenly, the ship above the moon fired a pulse, not a weapon. A wave. Every vampire across the galaxy stopped. Their eyes turned red. The ancient blood was calling them. Queen's eyes widened. "It's trying to control us all." Aaron shouted, "Not if I stop it." He closed his eyes and let the power inside him rise. His body glowed with red light. The veins in his arms turned black. Energy wrapped around him like armor. He jumped into the air, straight into the stars. Final scene. Above the moon, Aaron landed on the ancient ship. The surface moved under his feet like it was alive. The whispers grew louder. The door opened for him. Inside was a throne made of bone and crystal, and a voice, not male or female. "Sit and rule or burn." Aaron looked at the throne. Then he smiled and whispered, "I was never meant to sit." He raised his hand and the ship began to shake. Then it exploded in a silent red blast that lit up half the galaxy. Epilogue Earth. 1 month later, Lena walked through the Mars base. No sign of vampire attacks. No new blood shadows. No Queen. Peace. But still, no sign of Aaron Vale until she found a message left for her. One line only. "Still human. For now."